First of all, what is AVR? If there's a common principle involved, it's that you shouldn't have to actively seek out voter registration. Registration should happen as a matter of course when you engage with the government for some other reason entirely. A back-end AVR system is one where the voter registration decisions don't come up at the government agency at all. The government sends you a notice in the mail afterward. Front end is where all those decisions do actually come up when you were in the process of your government transactions. Default registration is where if you say nothing, you do nothing, you're going to be registered by default. Forced choice is where you are required to make the decision while you are at the government agency in order to complete your government agency transactions. California, Colorado, Oregon, and Delaware. The AVR system is extremely popular in all four. We are in California able to look specifically at language minorities, and they do use AVR much more than other groups. We think it's likely that back-end AVR is actually more effective at increasing registration than front-end AVR. Many are concerned about the effects of a back-end system for non-citizens, that it might accidentally register them.
Data reporting requirements should also be part of any AVR reform or any adoption of any AVR system. So if policymakers are better informed, the public is better informed, we can understand how it's working, how it might not be working. AVR agencies should be required to share aggregate statistics about the registration process. Should of course be broken down by demographic characteristics such as race, ethnicity, age, language preferences, wherever possible to understand the effects on equity. The limited available data in the early stage of most of these systems make any kind of conclusion really difficult.
We were able to identify a positive program uptake across all states in the years following AVR implementation. Our policy recommendations, which of course were informed by our study and best practices in other states, streamlining the operations of AVR to create consistency in implementation and in tracking and reporting data, various approaches to address the uneven monitoring of AVR, and how to implement AVR in a way that provides for equal and diverse access. The implementation should be standardized so that the eligible voting public is well informed as to how AVR works. More outreach is needed to communicate with potential voters who are passively registered.
The interface that a person has at the DMV in California who needs language assistance is quite well done. And a lot of states don't do that. When you think about implementation, that making sure you're paying attention to the language assistance components of this is really important. I hope people really do understand how outdated some of the technology is. I think it's actually been useful in terms of thinking of modernizing voting. Hopefully in some states with good online technology, those opportunities will at least help some individuals get registered to vote even in the middle of the pandemic.
If we're going to have more people registered, it's going to cost more to administer the election. Even if we weren't dealing with COVID and we weren't dealing with cybersecurity and we had all the money that we could deal with, you know, the other factor here that we always have to navigate is the partisan politics. That being said, we're seeing huge benefits. Our research the first couple of elections showed that over 40% of those that were automatically registered participated in the election. And so AVR is really flattening the curve for voter registrations. Political party qualifications are based on the number of registered voters. One of our major political parties, you have to have 5% of registered voters. They had 5% before AVR, and now they don't have that, and so they've fallen back to a minor party. Today, we're sitting here at 2.86 million registered voters, 91% eligible. We're always going to have those challenges that I talked about at the beginning, but there are a lot of great things that are coming out from it.